Hello, beautiful Evertonians. How art thou? How art thou? I am the Mr. Archer. I'm here to give you transfer news, or lack of it. Here to give you my starting lineup for the Wigan game later today if you're seeing this. If you're watching it afterwards, that's too bad. I hope it was a good game. I hope we won. And just some other things. We've got stadium news coming up right this week and all that. So let's just get right into it. Okay, let's start off with the transfer news and the rumors. And let me preface this by saying I have now adopted the following mental decision of how we're going to go about doing our transfers. Obviously, we all know, we've heard all over the place, that we didn't actually sign our first signing of last season, which was Richarlison. Broke the transfer market wide open, according to Mr. Pisser, Paul Merson. And that wasn't until tomorrow. Today's Tuesday. If it's tomorrow, it's Wednesday if you're watching this. But either way, it was about this time in the transfer window that we signed Richarlison from Watford for an astronomical fee of 40 million, maybe rising to 50 with the add-ons and the incentives and all that other good stuff. So my mental state now is Everton, Marcel Brands, Farhad Moshiri are in the business of getting players out the door before we can bring these bigger, flashier, more exciting signings into the club. Right? I see that's the only reason that we could do. We bought Lursulin. That's great. Wonderful. Going to be a great number 2 for Jordan Pickford. We bought in Mr. Gomez. And what do I have to say about Mr. Gomez other than, brought in Fabian Delph. We've discussed that. We've seen everything. We had a press conference today. We saw him, if you're watching on Everton TV, his little cable car ride. He talks about desire. He talks about the work ethic of the squad. He wants to bring a winning mentality. He loves the fans. Goodison's a fortress. All that good stuff. Complete professional. Did what he was doing. So those are our 3 signings for right now. However, with my philosophy, we have to get players out the door. And I'm going to show you a picture now. And it's going to break your heart. It might bring tears to your eyes. But here it is. Bam! We may never see this again. Obviously, it's last season. Last season's kit. However, Kurt Zouma and Idrissa Gana Gueye celebrating something. I'm assuming that Kurt Zouma just scored. He's pointing at himself. He's number 1. The fans love him. He's getting the applause. But past couple of days, maybe up to a week, we've had Frankie Lampard come out and say, Zouma's a gentleman. Zouma's a great footballer. Zouma's a class act. And I want him to stay. And Zouma has also now come out in the past couple of days and said, I'm a Chelsea player. I've talked to the manager. I want to play football. So we're assuming, sadly, that Frank has sat Zouma down and said, hey, European Championship's coming up, brah. You want to play, you want to start, you want to represent your country? I'm going to play you. First teamer. Main man. Are you with me? And Kurt might just say, yeah. If that's what he's been promised, if he just wants to play guaranteed football in order to play for his country at the Euros, and Frank's offered him that and said that this is what's going to happen, barring injury, barring all the other stuff. So sadly, I think it's about time to put a kibosh on Kurt Zouma coming back to Goodison Park for next season. It's terrible, I know. Great in the air, powerful, quick, fast player. Nice feet, brings the ball out from the back, moves us up the park, but, it just looks like it's not going to happen. I'd say 80-20 in favor of him staying right now, in my honestly humble, well-educated opinion. And then the other man with his head down there getting the old niggy-noggy. That was a bad choice of words. The nogger rub thing on there is Idrissa Gana Gueye. Past couple of days, even today, looking at a fee about 32 million euros. Obviously, he was the backbone of our midfield, getting stuck in, tackling, always making a nuisance of himself, always there. Does lack on the offensive side of the ball. Can't really make a pass over 5 yards and not very well off the floor. But what he does and what he contributes to the team, you can look at the stats. You can look at the charts from last season. Idrissa's up there. But PSG want him. He wants Champions League football. I think, again, it's just time to say sayonara, brother. We appreciate it. We love you. You were a great buy from Aston Villa back in the day. One of the, handful of decent signings made in the Koeman era. We like to forget that, but it did happen. So this picture, take a look at it. I'll look at it with you. Should I blow it up a little bit for you? So yeah, we probably won't be seeing that again. What can I say? I'm not going to cry a river. Business is business, and sometimes business just doesn't go the way you want. However, on the plus side, if Ghana goes, we've got to bring somebody in. I'd say bring somebody in that doesn't quite, if we have to, obviously, bring somebody in that's not going to do quite the job that Ghana does. I would take a little bit out of his defensive, getting stuck in, battle attitude. You can have some of that, but maybe that's not the only thing we need to bring in. We've got Gomez, obviously. We've got Fabian Delph, who we've been told is not a direct replacement for Idrissa Gana Gueye going from the club. So obviously we're going to look for another midfielder, but we already have Tom. We already got Andre. We've got Morgan. We've got Beningame, if worst came to worst, obviously. So, we'll bring somebody in. We're going to have to look for a center back. We don't know how hard and how diligent Marco and Marcel have been recognizing another player that might fit in, because we obviously need more at center back. We've got Michael Keane, who obviously outstanding, come on leaps and bounds in the past season or so. We've got Yerry Mina, who obviously last season, hit or miss, injured, not injured, in and out the team. What's going to happen with Mason Holgate? Lewis Gibson, obviously probably not quite ready to step in there. So we do need a third, a backup that can play for Mina or for Keane. And depending if Mason stays, he can obviously fill in for the fourth spot with that. But, if they go, or if Zouma stays and Idrissa goes, I think that has to be the time for us to start really bringing in players. I know people are getting nervous. You're probably sitting there, just like I am, full of trepidation. What are we going to do? But like I said before, it wasn't until this time last season we actually signed our first player. And then, the sluice gates opened last day of the transfer window. Bernard, Gomez, Yerry Mina. Am I forgetting anybody? I hope not. Luca Dean, obviously. Oopsie. Sorry, Luca. I know you're not watching, but we all love you. We love you. So, don't get downhearted, obviously, but it is, because no other teams are really doing any business. Griezmann's gone to Barca. Everyone says that Leicester's doing big things, but they're not really. They just did what we did. They signed their loanee, Tielemans. We signed Gomez. They brought in a striker, Jose Perez from Newcastle, but, what's that at the end of the day, right? So maybe we have to get players out to bring players in. McCarthy's been looked at, and there might have been a bid put in from Crystal Palace. We still need to try and get some other players out, but if we know they're not going to get out, that might be the end of that. But, I'm under the assumption now that we're giving up on Zouma. Ghana's going out the door, so we have to bring people in. And I said, I'm not going to worry. We've got exciting stadium news coming up next week, obviously, so. And then, moving on to this lad, little Ademola Lookman, little Mola, apparently spotted in Germany today or yesterday, so he's probably in Germany for his medical, going to Leipzig. I'm sure there's just some back and forth about the negotiations still. Leipzig putting out that it was 16 point something that they were going to get the deal done for. Everton putting out 22 point something. So the numbers are off, but obviously Leipzig want to put a favorable spin on it from their side and say, hey, look, we got a really good player at a bargain price. And then Everton want to say, oh, we got rid of a very talented player with a lot of promise. Leipzig paid a high price for him, so either way you want to spin it, both teams are going to come out happy in the end from this. I'm not going to say anything, that I'm going to miss Lookman, or that he was wasted talent, or that he wasn't given a chance. He was given his chance. You can't walk around with that look on your face all the time. You can if you're not happy, but obviously that body language, that sends a message to the club. It sends a message to supporters, sends a message to content creators. So I have to get on your back and say, bye, 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 dear Mola. Bye. So, not a big loss at the end of the day. We can't, cry over all the players with potential that have gone out the window or gone out of the club and pissed away at the. Sometimes it just doesn't work. So, other news: Moise Keane still up in the air. Haven't heard much about David Neres for the longest time. Not too much on Malcolm recently. Always rumors, always things coming out. But yesterday you could have heard that we were in for a play and we put a bid in, and then 2 days later there was never a bid. People don't know what they're talking about, so there's nothing really secure. And then all of a sudden, bam! Delph comes out of the woodwork. There's a couple of days of Man City, Everton put a bid in for Man City. Man City denied it, and then boom! All of a sudden he's flying out to Switzerland and needs a player. Doing interviews, doing promos. Now he's out before the Wigan game doing a press conference, and they're asking him, questions. So it can come out of nowhere. So maybe that's another sign that we're just being quiet about it. We're kind of doing it under the table or in the back room, and then all of a sudden you just go, bam, player, bam, get it on Twitter, bam, 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 bam. Put that horrible echo behind it, and and do what you do. But like I said, don't panic, don't worry. We're an ambitious club, so we're not going to just have those three signs. We're going to bring in 3 or 4 more players. We're going to make it a better squad, a deeper squad. We're going to challenge for top 6. We're going to have a great cup run. We're probably going to win the Carabao Cup, or we're going to win the FA Cup, and we're going to finish high up the league. We're going to bring in that striker, that 15 to 20 goal a season striker, bam, in the team. Left-footed right winger, bam, in the team, getting assists and getting goals. Giving Richie a break, maybe giving Bernie a break. Going to bring in a centre midfielder for Ghana. Ghana's 30 years old, gone out the window. Old news. Bright, young, strong, tall player. Doesn't take any nonsense from anybody. Pinging balls left, pinging balls right. Getting people in, getting assists, getting goals, scoring headers from corners. Just mixing it up in there. Enforcer in the center of the park. Going to bring somebody in, possibly at center back, that's going to be, not going to be better than Yerry Mina or Keane maybe, but a backup that's going to do the job, that's going to step in. There'll be no loss in quality, no loss in desire, no loss in ambition. Just be able to seamlessly fit into that back 4 if needed. Possibly we'll get lucky and an understudy for Seamus will come in. We're not going to get no 27-year-old Mounier. We're not going to get some has-been or reject for any other club. We're going to bring in someone that's young, again, fresh, willing to learn, sit on the bench a little bit, watch Seamus do his thing, learn from Marco in practice and in training, and then next season maybe be a replacement for Seamus. That's what we're going to do, right, guys? Top 6 is coming. League Cup is coming. Because I'll tell you this, if this is all we do this summer, Delph, Lursel, bringing in Gomez on a permanent, we're not getting top 6. We're not getting anywhere in the cups because our squad will just not be deep enough, and the quality gap between starters and bench players will not be sufficient enough to get us the results we need, or to grind out results when it comes to injuries, when it comes to suspensions, when it comes to lots of games in only a few days. That's what I'm going to say on the transfer news. Okay, and here we are once again. Gonna finish this video off by talking about the game versus Wigan, which is probably going to be later tonight for people watching on Wednesday morning, Wednesday afternoon. Tough game against Wigan, probably a step up in terms of physicality, maybe not in terms of creativeness and in terms of talent quality, but you never know. We're going to the Wigan home, which is what? It's still the the DW Stadium or the JW. I think it's a DW, right? Either way, it'll be a good game for us back on home soil, back in the UK. Obviously, have plenty of Evertonians down there. I heard there's 7,000 to 8,000 of you beautiful, wonderful, fabulous people gonna go check out the game. Please don't embarrass yourself like some of you did up in Switzerland. You know, keep the drinking and the vulgarity to a low level if possible. Yes, bring that passion, but don't bring the profanity, if you know what I'm saying. What do I want to see out of this game? Obviously, we played on Friday, so I'm assuming not everybody is going to start the game that played a predominant role in the last game. Maybe we are. Maybe we've got some superhumans, because obviously Seamus and Luca and Keane, I think, all got a full 90 minutes playing on Friday, so maybe just because they play on the defensive side of the game, who knows, but I would expect those guys to see limited minutes in a certain way. Gomez played a lot during that game. I really don't want to see Nias up top anymore. Been talking about playing Theo Walcott down the middle for the last couple of preseason games, actually. I mean, Nias obviously isn't going to be part of the squad or part of the makeup for Premier League, for Carabao Cup, for FA Cup, for anything. Not even going to be in the 23s, because why would he be? He's probably going to go out on loan to some Turkish club, last day of the transfer window or something, who knows. But I'd just like to see Theo down the middle if possible. Richie's obviously not going to be ready. Dominic's probably not going to be ready either. Tosin's still injured, so let's just try something else. Throw Wally down the middle, see what he can do. He's always wanted to play there. Just spice it up a little bit. Give us something to cheer for. If he bags a hat trick, we go just go, hey, Theo. And if he does nothing, we just say, well, Nias would have done nothing. Theo did nothing. Nothing is nothing, and nothing is everything, right? I would like to see also Mason Holgate get a run out at right back. Obviously, Seamus got his 90 minutes in against Monaco. Looked great, looked fabulous, scored the goal. Brave header from that fantastically strange Nias cross that went in. But either way, Seamus, we know what Seamus is about. Seamus is all about this. Seamus is all about this. We know what he's going to do on a day-to-day, game-to-game cycle, if you want to call it that. So, there's no questions there. We obviously haven't brought anybody in to play behind Seamus right now. We know obviously also that Fabian Delph said today himself that he can play right back. Tom Davis could probably play right back also, but I'd like to see Mason play there just so he might be a backup for Seamus, so he can be a backup for the centre backs and for the right backs. Saul also did at West Brom, put in some cheeky 2 million bid, right, for Mason Holgate. I would assume that he's valued at a little more than 2 million to the club, so I don't think that's going to happen, but let's just see him at right back. So let's start from the bottom. Pickford in goal. Yes, please. Luca at left back, because why not? Baines, possibly. They might split the minutes, but I'd like to see Lucas start again, maybe just for 45, but if Baines starts, I've got no problem with that. We all love Leighton. In the center, probably Lewis Gibson again, with Michael Keane. Yerry Mina's only been back this week, so maybe not in contention, but we'll have to see. Right back, like I said, Seamus Coleman starts, no problem with that. Would like to see Mason Holgate play there, though, just so Marco can take a look at him, just so we can take a look at him, obviously. Center of the park, Gomez and Schneiderlin possibly in there just to start the game. But, I mean, any combination of Davis, Gomez, and Morgan, no issue with that. Those three can change about in any way they want. Obviously, need to see Mr. Fabian Delph play. Maybe not from the start, but who knows? But I'd like to see him get at least 45 minutes under his belt if that's possible. On the left, Bernie, got to play. Got to see my little Brazilian do his thing. On the right, what are we going to do there? Nathan Broadhead again? Don't see why not. Let's get another look at him. We know what he can do. Looks ambitious. No, it looks like he's up for it, but his final decision-making might be a little suspect at times. That could only come from playing, right? You make mistakes, or you don't do certain things. It gets pointed out in training. Get it into your head. Get it nailed into your system, and then you go from there. And up top, it has to be Theo. I do not want to see Umar, the sweet prince, doing his thing. We know he can run around. I can run around. You can run around out there and make it look good, right? But at the end of the day, so that's what I want to see. And I want to see, tough tackling. I want to see high energy levels, which I don't doubt we're going to have, obviously. Oh, by the way, Siggy in there too. See, been a bit of a passenger in preseason. Yes, he hit the bar and he hit the post against Sion, but other than that, kind of disappeared. Maybe it was the heat, maybe it was this or that, maybe it was the quality of the opposition, maybe it was whatever, but I want to see Siggy get involved a little more. But that's kind of difficult when he's got somebody like Nias up top. Not really able to hold the ball up and bring him into play. That's number 10 position is kind of key on what is in front of you, and if there's nothing in front of you, what are you really supposed to do? So that's what I want to see. I want to see a victory also. I won't mind seeing 5, 6, 7, 8 goals, if you know what I'm saying, but more likely to be 2. Another clean sheet would be very, very, very acceptable. And just hope nobody gets out of there with any injuries. I hope, like I said, the Evertonians have a good time. Hope Wigan put up a good fight. I hope their fans are pleased with their performance. Hope it's an all-around kumbaya session of football. And then we can move on to Mainz at the weekend and have a little 2 games of 60 minutes in one day. So we'll see. Oh, by the way, there will be watch-alongs. Watch-alongs again for the 2 games in Mainz in the little tournament. I do work during the week, and because the games are on at about 2 in the afternoon in the United States of America, that's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon here, so can't do watch-alongs when you find people. But Saturday, I will be here. I will have my bevy. I will have all the other stuff. Be looking forward to you guys' comments if possible. Come in, say hi, say what's up, and we'll go from there. Again, subscriber count. Which way is it? This way. The subscriber count has been going up, 639. I'd like to see it at 640 by the next time I do a video. So if you're new, if you enjoy what you're hearing, you enjoy the content, you enjoy the graphics, you enjoy something about this, just give it a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on notifications. Everybody will be happy. I'll be happy. You'll be happy. You made me happy. And I'll try and make you happy. And that's how it works. Thank you very much for watching. I am the Mr. Archer. Up the toffees.